This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 1581, 7 Steps to Your Financial Independence Day by Tania Brown with financialfinesse.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. This is the show where I narrate posts from a wide variety of personal finance blogs. We cover so much on this show, from saving to investing to debt reduction and more. This show is actually one of 6 shows in our network covering different topics like personal development, health, and relationships. So if you like narration-style podcasts, be sure to search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this and check out our other shows. But for now, let's get right to today's post and start optimizing your life. 7 Steps to Your Financial Independence Day by Tania Brown with financialfinesse.com. To me, financial independence equates to not having to worry about money. So if you are worried about your finances, take these 7 steps to economic freedom. Step 1, establish an emergency fund. Failing to set aside money for an economic emergency or a rainy day is a sure way to get you in trouble if and when the rain comes. Arm yourself against such things by putting aside 6 to 12 months of expenses in a safe liquid account such as a savings account or a money market fund. You won't make a lot, but you'll have something to help you weather the storm. A well-funded emergency fund is the first step to a worry-free financial life. Step 2, pay off high-interest debt. Borrowing money at a high interest rate is a form of voluntary slavery. Emancipate yourself by committing extra payments to the debt with the highest interest rate. Once that's paid off, use the newly freed money to make an even bigger payment on the debt with the next highest rate. And continue this process until all high interest debt has been wiped away. If you are truly adverse to debt, you can continue the process until your low interest debt, such as your mortgage, is paid off too. Not owing anyone money may be the ultimate form of economic freedom. Step 3, save more for retirement. According to our research, over 90% of employees are saving for retirement, but less than 30% are confident in their ability to achieve their retirement goals. Take the worry out of retirement by running a retirement projection and applying any recommended changes. For many, it's simply a matter of socking away more. For others, it may mean working a few more years or investing a little more aggressively. Whatever you do, don't rely solely on your employer or the government. Financial independence comes from self-reliance. Step 4, manage your income taxes. Don't let fear of the tax man cause you undue worry. In the spirit of the Boston Tea Party, say no to higher taxes by contributing to tax-deferred accounts like a traditional 401k, IRA, or even your HSA. You can avoid income taxes in the future by contributing to a Roth retirement account today, or save for specific expenses completely tax-free by contributing to a flexible spending account or health savings account. There's nothing wrong with paying your fair share, but that doesn't mean you have to give Uncle Sam an interest-free loan every year, which is exactly what you're doing if you receive a large tax refund every year. Take back what's yours by adjusting your tax withholdings so that you pay what you owe while keeping what you deserve. Knowing you won't owe the IRS money is another step towards financial freedom. The IRS has a nifty withholding calculator you can use to estimate the appropriate number of allowances to claim on your W-4 tax withholding form. Step 5, invest in and out of the U.S. America may be the land of the free and the home of the brave, but it only represents about half the world's economy. So make sure to diversify your investment portfolio so that it includes both foreign and domestic holdings. Complement your U.S. stocks and bonds with international stocks and bonds, and don't overlook investing in emerging markets, as long as you have the tolerance for the volatility, that is. Round out your portfolio with a decent level of exposure to real assets such as commodities and real estate. That way, when you read about the economic problems in Europe and the US, or about the possibility of higher interest rates or rising inflation, you can take comfort in knowing you have exposure to assets that may actually perform well in these types of environments. Step 6, have adequate insurance. No one ever expects to get into a car accident, become disabled, end up in a long-term care facility, or die young. But the reality is that such things will happen. And being without adequate insurance is a sure way of putting you and your loved ones in a financial mess. Maintain your financial independence by insuring against such risks. A well-developed insurance plan offers peace of mind, so review your coverage periodically to ensure you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. A good insurance agent can help you understand the risks and make sure you are adequately protected. Step 7, have an estate plan. You're working hard to achieve the American dream. Don't lose it for lack of planning. Learn how to maximize wealth transfers by utilizing tax credits and exemptions. You can also minimize estate taxes and probate fees by proper asset titling and the use of trusts. Your estate plan should include a will, a financial and healthcare power of attorney, and a healthcare directive, also called a living will. Without an estate plan, you may have to rely on the government to decide who gets your stuff when you pass on. A good estate plan allows you to control your assets beyond the grave, thus preserving your financial independence. There are a number of websites that provide access to inexpensive estate planning documents, including nolo.com and legalzoom.com. Our country was founded on the principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I don't know about you, but for me, happiness comes from knowing I've done all I can to protect me and my family from financial hardship. If you wish to live financially independent as I do now, take these steps and choose to live financially free. There's nothing more patriotic than that. You just listened to the post titled 7 Steps to Your Financial Independence Day by Tania Brown with financialfinesse.com. I thought this post had some good pointers on things to think about when pursuing financial independence. I also think there are some best practices that can help you work through these steps. So for example, I'd recommend tracking your spending and regularly engaging with a budget. This is really going to help you navigate these first few steps of saving an emergency fund, paying off debt, and contributing more to your investments. In order to get ahead financially, you need to create a gap between your income and expenses. And that gap creates the surplus that you can then throw at savings, debt, and investments. Do you know the size of your gap now? Getting a good grasp on where you are now will help you identify ways to grow that surplus by reducing expenses and increasing income. At a certain point, you'll begin to focus on protecting the gap by not letting lifestyle inflation chip away at all your hard work. And if you feel overwhelmed by all these steps, keep in mind that they aren't all going to get done tomorrow. Have patience with yourself and consider that personal finance is a lifelong learning journey. I've been seriously focused on my finances for 6 years now, and I'm still learning new things every day. While it's important that we educate ourselves, don't let the overwhelming amount of information about money management lead you to analysis paralysis. I think the small 1% improvements we make every day compound over time and are well worth the effort. That should do it for another edition of Optimal Finance Daily. I'll be back tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.